Yellow. Aubrey Drake Graham, the absolute legend, the absolute king. I don't listen to much rap, but I do listen to Drake because it's probably the most, mainstream rap, I guess. If you hear it on the radio, then you'll probably see it on my iPod. And I was given, I don't know how, because this man, I would say, is top 5 most impossible people to meet on this darn tune damn planet. I was given an opportunity to meet Mr. Aubrey Drake Graham, Drizzy, the king of the six, the legend of Toronto. At the end of 2011, 2012, people started to slowly and gradually hear that Drake had bought a penthouse in one of the most luxurious darn tune damn hotels here in Toronto that this man will never be able to see the inside of. So, little gay me, I was in grade 12, I think I was 17 years old, I'm marching my way down this street in Toronto, which was a very luxurious street, wearing a snapback and a shirt that was just not luxurious. It was trash. And I'm oh, okay, perfect. So, at what point do we meet Drake now? Am I here for 2 minutes? Am I here for 24 hours? I'm sitting on a bench that's facing the inside of the hotel, and I see Drizzy come down the elevator, and I couldn't believe it. I was obviously I can't run in the hotel because then it's I'm a psychopath. Literally, imagine he's downstairs and I'm Drake! He picks up 2 girls who are waiting in the lobby and then goes back in the elevator, and I go, you're kidding. This is around midnight now, 12 o'clock. And I was well, is this man not leaving the hotel tonight? I was okay, well, I guess I came here to sightsee. 1 a.m. finally comes. I open up the one eye that's fallen asleep. I look in the lobby. I see Mr. Aubrey Drake Graham, Drizzy Drake, the king of the six, walking towards the front doors of the hotel. I get up literally Speedy Gonzalez. I don't think I've ever gotten up so fast in my my life, where it's my leg fell asleep, and I swear to you I was about to fall over tripping because my leg could not move. Then suddenly I see him kind of walk past the lobby doors, and I'm oh, okay, bye. But I see him go towards the garage, but the garage leads outside into the front of the hotel. So I was okay, so I make my way over to the garage. I'm still on the sidewalk, I guess. And he starts walking towards the sidewalk. Drake, those 2 girls, and his bodyguard are just going for a stroll at 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, that's a pretty good choice because nobody else is around except this maniac, this psychopath over here. Immediately, I say his name with excitement. I'm Drake. That wasn't really exciting. He's literally walking, and it's eat. Yes? He looks at me, and he's yes. And I go, oh. I was Drake, I heard that you were within this area of Toronto, and I was just waiting around to see if you were gonna be around. I'm a fan, I absolutely love you, legend, king. I was I just wanted to say hi. And he looks at me, he's oh, hey, literally no expression to his face, no expression in his voice. He was just hey, what's up? Cool. And I was okay, can I maybe perhaps get a picture? I was I've been kind of waiting all evening. But I know that doesn't justify that. I need a picture, obviously. But I was but I didn't come here to just stand on the sidewalk and basically embarrass myself. He kind of looks at me. I would say maybe for 15 seconds he's staring. Kind of looks me up and down. Considers it, which is okay, that's fine because at the same time I did look like a bum. So it's do I really want to stop for that irrelevant over there? Better not. He thinks about it, and I'm looking at him oh, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We should probably hurry up this process. And then he finally looks, and he's yeah, okay, that's fine. And he comes towards me, and I'm oh, and I give him my okay, so I was it wasn't a iPhone at the time. Selfies were still not really that much of a thing. So it was I had a dinky little Canon digital camera that I used to bring to high school parties. And I was do you mind asking somebody in your friends to take the picture? And he's yeah. He takes my camera and he gives it to his bodyguard. And oh my god, does the picture actually turn out good? In the moment, I was great. Now looking at myself, I'm eh. So here's the picture. Notice how he's pointing at me in the picture. I was oh, maybe he wasn't that friendly, but it's oh, he was pointing at me as if he was probably pointing at me being look I'm with trash. And then after that, he makes his way out and about on his little 1 a.m. stroll, and I'm okay, well, I better start hitting the pedal to the metal. Gotta get home because I had a curfew 5 hours ago, so let's go. Anyways, that is my story of me meeting Mr. Aubrey Drake Graham, the absolute king of Toronto, king of the world, legend, A+++ lister. For anybody who's watching me, if anybody's ever darn tuned in watching me, I'll talk to y'all in the next video. TGYLs.